All right, we're going to take a look at why Go is strongly and statically typed. And to answer that question, we need to look at one of the goals for creating Go, and that is fast execution times. Variable types need to be checked. This can either be done at compile time or this can be done at runtime. Go does these checks while compiling to save from doing these steps during the runtime, and thus making the program run faster. Understanding this will help you understand Go's requirements around declaring variables. So what is strongly typed and what is statically typed? Statically typed is when the variable type has to be defined at compile time. The word static, meaning unchanging, means that once we've set that data type, we cannot change it. Now this will be different than some other programming languages that have dynamic variables, meaning the data type of that variable can change over time. Now you can only store values in a variable that have the same data type as that variable. As you can see above here, we have the variable age followed by the data type int, and it's expecting a numeric data type. Now this should just run and return our value 30. Now that since we've declared it as an int, we can't just hand it a string because it's expecting an int. It said, hey, you said this is an int, and you handed me a string. It knows that's an error. Cannot use 30 type string when obviously it's an int because we said so over here. Now, the type of the variable has to be declared when creating the variable. So for instance, I can't put something like this because on that line here it's expecting the data type. So unexpected new line, expecting type. So after the variable keyword, it's expecting a variable name, and then it's expecting a data type. Now we don't necessarily have to write out the data type. We could just give it a value and it can infer that data type. And there we go. It knows it's an int and it will run. Now there are situations where you'll need a variable that can hold many different types of data. In those situations, we'll use something called a interface. Now, the interface is just like any other variable. You need to declare that variable type when you create the variable. And let's move on to strongly typed, which is the type of a variable cannot change over time. So once this is set, it inferred that, hey, I have an int. I can't try and change that into, say, a string. It's going to throw an error. It just won't work. So once it starts off as one data type, you can't change it to something else. So in short, while writing your Go code, Go expects you to declare your variable types, or at the very least, give it a piece of data to infer that data type from. Hopefully, this will help you avoid compile errors while learning Go.